Good morning. Happy Friday. So glad to say it's Friday. It's always been a long week by the time I get to Friday, but this week has just felt more. I don't know what it is. I think it was the weather partly because it was cold, it was hot, it was cold, it was hot, it was rainy, it was gross. Yeah, weird. So I was a bonehead and totally forgot my mad scientist stuff. So that won't be happening today. The good thing is I did not tell my kids. So they are not going to be disappointed because they never knew. So I'm definitely doing it next Friday. I forgot to bring some of the things I needed. So, because I had because we were doing smoothies, so I remembered all that stuff. But I didn't remember all the mad science stuff. So, too much to think about. And then I'm like, you know what? There's other stuff I can do in that time period anyway, because grade cards are coming due. So it'll be okay. And next Friday, grade cards are supposed to be in. Like everything's supposed to be done, and I don't know how that's going to happen, but it always does. Somehow it works out. I just kill myself to get it done. So then maybe that would be more relaxing anyway. So we'll take that mad science time today and we'll do something that will get me ahead a little bit. So that'll be fine. The kids will still have fun. I said on yesterday's vlog that I found some more of those little silicone ice trays. So we're going to have fun with 10 frames today. Hopefully that kind of drives it home for them a little more so they can manipulate everything into the frames and count up and see how that works when you group things into 10. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to do my best. And I did find a really cool sheet on Teachers Pay Teachers that's it's 2 pumpkin 10 frames on a page. Well, not just 2 on a page, but there's like 2 here, 2 here. It's like this one plus this one, which is perfect for our math. So I need to try to find that on my desktop and print it real fast before the kids come, because I think I might want to do that before we have a break. So I only have like a couple minutes before they come, so I need to go find that. I realized I hadn't printed my spelling test page for today, so I just quick printed that and grabbed it. And then when I went in the hallway, some people were very sad, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I didn't want to ask because I'm a big crier, so I didn't really want to get into all that. But apparently, one of them had to give up their dog. So sad. So I'm trying not to think about that too much because that would kill me. So she apparently cried all night about it. And then other people around her started crying. I'm just like, I'm at the copier going, kind of sort of listening, not really listening, because I'm like, uh-oh, something sad I don't know that I want to know right now. Like, I'll find out later. And I'm like, okay, I just need to go because I don't want to lose it because my kids are going to come soon. I need to get myself together. I need to be able to think. So I'm trying to put that out of my mind, but it's super sad. And I really feel awful for her. And I'm not sure what the situation was behind it, but it's not good. So I will probably find out more later as the day progresses. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to find those. I'm gonna try to find those pumpkin 10 frames if I don't slice my throat open with my nail. My goodness. And I'll let you know how things go today. Hello. I thought I'd turn the camera the other direction. I've got a lovely view of this cup here that I'm gonna use to get ice later. So it is almost 10:15. This morning was just. It just seems like it disappeared on me. I gave the kids a lot of time to catch up on things because some of them were super behind. So from now on, they are going to do whatever morning work they didn't finish, they're going to do it before they go to their literacy center wheel thing. Because they just have to do it, because that's more of a free choice type of a time. And so if they want to get to the iPads or the other activities that are there for them, they need to get their other work done first, because I don't want it to pile up like it has been, because they're just not getting it done. Sleeve is all weird. So, I didn't show you my outfit of the day, did I? I talked to you earlier, but I didn't show you. Well, my goodness. Okay, well, all right, let me see what I can do here. I've got this top here. Kind of short. It's just like, I don't even know what you call this because I have no brain. So I've got this little top, and I've got this it goes down to a point, kind of a sweatery thing on. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I may just have to show you my outfit later because I just cannot. I don't have time to set up the tripod right now because I got a list of stuff to do. Yes, I screenshot this off my phone and printed it. That's how bad it is. Yeah. Thankfully, I can check some of the things off. Good news. Remember yesterday I said, oh crud, I need to do my newsletter. I can't believe I forgot all about it. I love me sometimes because apparently previous week ago me made this week's newsletter the same time I made last week's newsletter. So all I had to do was, I don't even think I needed to do anything with it. I needed to change the social studies and the science. That was all. But everything else was right because I had already done it. Like I'd already put in the new math lessons. I'd already put in the terrific kid that was this week. I'd already put in the dates for conferences and stuff that's coming up next week. Not next week, the following week. Oh my gosh, not next week. I'm not ready. So everything was already on there. I'd already changed the date and everything. So I was ahead already. Yes. So all I had to do, like I said, was change the social studies to we're working on respect. And because we already did community helpers, it's over. And then I changed my science to bats. We're going to talk about bats next week and like the life cycle of the bat, what bats eat, that they're mammals, all that kind of stuff. So, and we'll probably do a little bit of writing about it, but really they need to get their how-to writing done because that is our grade card assessment. So our PLO, our priority learner outcome, or our grade level expectation, whatever you want to call it, is students can write a how-to with assistance. It's very broad. I mean, there is a rubric, but that means that they could just copy what you wrote. So we're just going to do it together. We're going to do it together. Now, they're going to have to be able to put capital letters in. That I'm not going to fix for them. That is their job. I'm going to say, make sure that you put capital letters at the beginning of your sentences. Make sure that you end your sentence with a period. You know, things like that. They need to do that. But if they cannot follow along and write a how-to, then they can't do one. I mean, I'm giving them as much help as I can because it is okay to do it that way since it's first grade writing. It's first quarter first grade writing. We've been in school for like, what, 6 weeks now? 7 weeks. So, yeah, and some of them can't even write their alphabet. Some of them don't all know all their letters and sounds. So we're going to see what they look like. Everyone finished up their how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Because I told you my little guy yesterday that was way behind, finally got it done. Then yesterday we were making our pumpkin life cycles, and he and the other little guy that went to reading didn't finish, and just a couple other people. So I gave them time this morning during ketchup and pickles. I don't think I showed you the board for that, but I think I've showed you that before. It's a PowerPoint slide that I got from Michelle from Pocketful of Primary. It is a free thing in her TpT store. So if you just look in her store under the free items, you will find ketchup and pickles. And it's really cute. She's got like a ketchup bottle on one side and she's got a pickle thing, cute little pickle on the other side. And it's divided where you can type in, kids' names like so-and-so, you need to turn this in. So-and-so, you need to turn this in. I have too many kids that have too many different things they need to turn in. So I just tell them on the ketchup side, today I said pumpkin life cycle, and I even put my example like magneted to the board next to that. And then I put unfinished folder. And I said, I'm going to be looking at your unfinished folder, so you need to be honest. And if you have work to do, you need to be doing it. Because if I have to go get it out for you, I'm not going to be a very pleasant, happy person. I'm going to be a little sad. Because it's going to be disappointing that you weren't honest with me and respectful. And they're like, oh, I should go check. I'm like, yes, you should. And then on the pickles side, I gave them more choices today. So I said you can pick a challenge bin with a partner, one partner. Otherwise, there's not really enough materials to do more than 2 people. You can read with a partner. You can write in your new writing journal, which several of the girls made some really cute stories. And I got some footage of them doing ketchup and pickles time today. So it was really cute. And then some of them explained their stories, which was super fun. So you'll get to see that. And they also got to do listening station because that is one of the choices on the Literacy Center wheel. Each group has one day that is their day to use the listening station, but sometimes they just don't get to it. And so I'm going to start letting them do that on Fridays. If they didn't get to listen to the books, they'll get to listen to it on Fridays. And I told them today I'm going to switch the books because those have been the same books since we started doing this. But really I think it's only been about 3 weeks maybe that we've done these rotations. So they haven't done it that long, but the books have been sitting there since open house. So I switched the books to some more Halloween ones. I got the Monsters Monster and put that out. And I have Bat's Big Game. I try to find a story that goes along somehow with something that we're doing through either the month or the week or whatever. So since we're going to be learning about bats, I thought they might enjoy a fictional story about a bat. So I put that out there. And they're going to get to pick out of the treasure chest today. I was working on my stack of papers that I hadn't checked. They've just been piling up all week. You know how that goes. You just go, oh, I'll get to that, and you just don't.
I just did. I got to it. While they were doing their ketchup and pickles, I was doing my ketchup too. And I told them, I said, Mrs. Bond is doing her ketchup work too. This is like my unfinished folder and I need to get my work done. And they're like, oh yeah, huh, you have a lot. I said, yes, I do, because you guys have been working hard and turning in a lot of papers. I don't know why it took me this long to figure this out, but I came to the realization that I don't have to hand back all their papers. If it's daily work and the reason that I'm doing it is to see how they're progressing in skills, I don't need to send home every stinking paper because we do one a day. I don't need to send them all home. That's for my kind of an observation. It's like an informal assessment almost. The things I've shown you that we do for morning work, the front and back page, like one side has daily language and it's got 5 things to do and the other side has 5 math things. I don't need to send those home. So I just checked them and I chucked them. Check and chuck. That's what they're going to be. Check and chuck. Because otherwise they have a pile of papers in their folder and the parents are like, what is all this crap? You know, they throw it away. So unless it's something really super cool or special or extra that we did, I'm not going to send it home anymore because it's the same old thing all the time. So they're just going to be like, oh, that's your paper, whatever. I'll send home the more important ones so the parents can see them. And I'm saving back ones that I'm putting in the hallway, of course. So those will stay with them on the hallway clippy things. And they'll get to take them home at the end of the year in a big portfolio of all their awesome work. They got to stick their life cycle of the pumpkin out on the wall today. So I'll try to get some film of that. Probably when I go pick them up from art, which will be, holy moly, in like 10 minutes. Like this just flies by. We have not done our spelling test yet, but I have the spelling test papers all around the room. They're on the tables, they're on the desks, they're on the floor. All I need to do is put an office on top of them. I'm going to tell them to go get their school box so we can do that. And I might have them, I really want to do that pre-assessment for the math for chapter 4. We might do that too. Because I'm not going to do my math science now, which they didn't know about. They're already doing something really cool. And they got extra ketchup and pickles time, so they were all over that. They did really well. I was really proud of them. One kid was like, should I put it on level 0? I'm like, no, this is fine. This is a working noise. This is good. It's the screaming, shouting, grouchy stuff that we don't want. This working buzz, that is okay. That's what a classroom should sound like, unless it's quiet writing time, because you can't think when people are talking. But I was listening to some of the conversations when they were figuring out how to make the things from the challenge bins, and that was really cool. And I was seeing the kids working on their unfinished work to get it done because they wanted to go to the challenge bins. And honestly, I was only going to do half an hour of that, which is what I always do. But the kids that were working on their unfinished work worked so hard. I just did not want to say, okay, it's time to clean up. And they don't get to do any of the special stuff. So I gave them about 8 minutes was what we had left of time that I could push it to when they finished some of their unfinished work. So I was like, I got to give them something. They got to have some kind of motivation to get done. Because if they're always just, I never ever get to do it, so why do I buy it? Why do I even try? They need to have some glimmer of hope. And they're kids. And I don't want to completely disappoint them. I mean, they do know that, oh yeah, I didn't get my work done. That's why I have to do it now. But you gotta be human too and have a heart. They will finish it. And that's why I said I'm going to have them start. You got to get your unfinished work done for that day. It just has to be done. And there's time to do it. There's time to do it before they go to their center rotations. After rest and read, we do a spelling thing, and then they go to their center rotations and reading groups. They can do their unfinished work during that time. Yes, they can. So that's going to be the time that we do it through the week. So that'll be good. I haven't eaten anything yet, and I'm starting to get a headache, so I need to eat something really quick before the kids come. And then we have lunch at 11:25, so time's just flying by. I'm not really accomplishing a lot. I was planning on doing a beginning, middle, and end activity today. I want to have a pumpkin thing I need to print out. Yeah, I should probably go because I have 5 minutes before I need to go get them down the hallway and bring them back and start over again. We'll do spelling test. I think we'll do a math pre-assessment because I can do I'll do the show what you know part, I think. I'll break it up. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what to do. Next week I need to be testing. So, and I have to get that pre-assessment done before next Friday. But I also want to do my my candy corn math so they understand how to make a 10. Okay, when they come back, I will have like 50 minutes, 50 good minutes. I think we can do it. Our spelling test will take like 10. We'll practice the words real fast. It'll take like 10 minutes to do the spelling test. I'll have them get their math books and their work boxes whenever they come in. That'll work. Now I'm just talking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud. I will check back with you in a little bit. Here is the ketchup and pickles PowerPoint slide that I told you about. Isn't it so cute? So thank you, Michelle from Pocketful of Primary, for sharing that with everybody. When I started using it last year, my kids just got so tickled by how silly it was. And they just thought it was so, so funny. And so these kids think it's really super cute too. And it kind of keeps me organized because I can do this ahead of time. And then I just have it projected on the board when the kids walk in. And I go, okay, it's ketchup and pickles time. And they know what that means. They just don't always know what their choices are, which is why I put them up here. I would really like to have pictures to go with the words, but that would be an enormous task, and I don't have the time for that. So I do read it to them, and then the friends that were here before, when they heard the directions, if somebody came in later, they can share what it is. So it works out great, but this is super cute and very helpful.
The Candyland.
You did?
And this whole book is going to be about Candyland.
Woo, I love it. You're getting your pumpkin life cycle finished. You're making a cool story about your family. Awesome. What are you writing about?
Writing about a princess.
Princess, that's right. You asked me about princess. That's going to be awesome. Wow. Almost done, man. I am so impressed. Sweet. Yes.
Okay, let's see what's coming.
And you guys are making these cool things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did one of their Lego. No! It was some Lego. You can eat. I made it. I gave you a slide. I made it. I put the trophy case. I made it.
You just got to finish. Yeah. Hi. Didn't get to vlog anymore at school. I was too busy. There just was no time for anything today. So I wasn't really able to get any of my copies made off that long to-do list to get ready for my life next week. So I ended up having to stay about at least half an hour, maybe 40 minutes after the meetings, because we have one at 2 and one at 2:30. To get some things done that I knew I wouldn't have time to do on Monday. I just knew I wouldn't. I couldn't get myself together fast enough on Monday because everything's just boom, boom, boom. Right off the bat, there's no time for anything. It's madness. Having this intervention group starting at 8:15 when kids don't come till like 7:55 is madness because they need to unpack their backpacks. They need to go to the bathroom, all 20 of them. So it's hard. It's very hard. And they start at 8:15, but they call them at 8:10. Yeah. So there was no time to do anything. So I had to stay after and make some copies and stuff and just ready to be. I'm glad to be home. I'm glad to be home. Glad it's done. I didn't get my lesson plans made, but I have my newsletter that I can go off of to do my lesson plans. And I know what I want to do for everything. I just need to write it down basically. And so I'll have to make some copies next week, but I don't have anything that I need to have for Monday. Monday's done. All my intervention stuff is done. And I pretty much have my Go Math lessons. There's Onyx. She just had her food. I pretty much have the Go Math lessons, worked out in my head how to do them. So that's good. We need to do lots of assessments next week because grade cards are due on Friday, I think. And then the following week is going to be conferences. We have 2 nights of conferences. Tuesday we have conferences from 4 to 8. And Thursday we dismiss at 12:20. Used to be at noon. Now it's 12:20, so even later. And we have conferences from 1 to 5. So 4 hours each day. And then Friday we're off. So the 27th we're off school. And then the 30th, that Monday, the kids are off, but teachers come back for a PD day. And I guess we're going to do vertical teaming for writing and things. I don't know. I never enjoy those days. They're never good. So not really looking forward to that. Looking forward to my Friday off, so I can have a 3-day weekend. And my daughter will be off that Monday, so she will have a 4-day weekend, which will be nice. But yeah, I'm just not looking forward to that. And just seems like we're meeting to death all the time. Teacher life, I guess. But I'm just pooped. I'm pooped, and Onyx is happily sitting there watching everything. I don't know what we're going to do tonight. I was hoping that we could do like pizza movie night. I was making my own pizzas, and that was great. And I really like them. But then my husband's like, it's not that much to get a 2-topping from Pizza Hut. It's like $7.99. It's really not going to be that much different cost-wise if you factor in the time it takes to make the dough and the time it takes to make the sauce and then having to put it together and having the energy from the electricity to run the oven to bake it. He's like, it's really not that big a difference to buy it. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay with that sometimes, because sometimes I just don't care and I'm just pooped and I don't want to deal with it anymore. All I ate today was like 4 or 5 of those pretzel crisp things and some chicken salad stuff that I told you I don't put any fat into. It's just the chunk chicken and the pickle relish. So I think I used that up a long time ago. Oh, we did our smoothies, which ended up being a little scoop of ice cream, and they could get a chunk of banana and crushed pineapple if they wanted to. They were really good. I didn't have banana in mine, but I ate it separately. So it was pretty good. The kids really enjoyed it. I was going to film when we were doing our 10 frame lesson, but I was too busy. I was too busy. I couldn't go around and just walk around the camera because they couldn't do it independently. Not at all. Even with all the extra that we did, it wasn't going well. I mean, not that it was going badly. They weren't like, the children were not having an issue with what we were doing. They just weren't understanding it. They were just basically, okay, you're telling me to put this in here, so I will. I could tell it wasn't clicking at all. Even though we were in Candyland and we were putting our little candy people in the little candy holders. Basically, I called it a bus. It was a candy bus. And you have 8 people waiting for the bus here and 6 people waiting for the bus here. And only 10 people can fit on this bus. So we need to put as many people as we can fit on the bus. And then the leftovers will have to wait for the next bus. And so that's kind of how I phrased it. So they could, because we were making a 10 out of a group to add. So you're taking, like if you had 8 plus 6, you're taking 2 from the 6 to make a 10. And then you've got 4 leftovers to make 14. I think they did get the trick that I showed them about adding 10 though. I was trying to tell them about place value and stuff, and it was just too much. So I just said, do you see the pattern? I wrote all the 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, all the way down. And I said, you see a pattern? I said, you see how the number that you're adding on just like eats the 0 and takes its place? And they're like, and I've never explained it that way before. And they were like, oh. I said, you don't even have to count it up, do you? You just let the number eat the 0 and take its place. And they're like, oh. I'm like, why did I never think of that before in my last 12 years of being with children and trying to teach them math? Why did I never think of that? I don't know. Just sometimes inspiration strikes. And I would say the majority of them, the ones that were really paying attention, some of them were in La La Land part of the time. The majority of them got it. They did. So yay. I didn't do any of the Go Math lesson pages today because there just wasn't time. Well, my husband came home, and so I needed to talk to him a little bit. And now it's even later, and I'm in my pajamas. And I'm even more pooped than I was before. Go figure, I didn't get more energy. I guess we need to figure out what we're doing because it's getting close to 7, I think. We should probably think about supper or whatever. We usually get some kind of pizza on Fridays and watch a DVD or some shows that we've got on demand on our cable or something on Netflix. Just something that's easy that we already have. I know I was talking about the Go Math lesson. We didn't do the pages because there was no time.
And with the smoothies and stuff, that took some of the time. And then it just, I don't know. And I gave a pre-assessment of some math things so that I could start figuring out how to group my kids for the next round of interventions that will start October 31st. Yes, on Halloween, because that will be a fabulous day to try to teach math because they won't be thinking about anything else. We tried to say, hey, do we have to do interventions on the 31st? Can we not? And he's like, no, we need to do them that day. I'm like, okay. Have you been around children on the 31st of October when you have school? Because that's all they think about is candy and trick-or-treating and costumes. And I think they're allowed to dress up that day. So I really think engagement is going to be very low that day because they're just going to be thinking about their fall parties and going trick-or-treating after school and all the candy they're going to get and eat. Honestly, though, the day after will probably be even worse because they're going to be in a candy stupor when they come back. They're going to be tired from trick-or-treating because it's on a Tuesday. They're probably going to be tired from coming back from a 4-day weekend, too. Because I mentioned earlier that we have conferences, and then the 27th, that Friday, we are off, all of us. And then the Monday, the students are off because teachers have a PD. And then we come back on Tuesday, Halloween. Yes, so I'm thinking parents will probably do some kind of hoopla over that 4-day weekend. Their last kind of hurrah before the winter hits. So kids are probably going to be tired because they're not going to be dragged around everywhere doing stuff. Not get enough sleep. Probably stay up later because they don't have school. And then we'll have Halloween. Then the next day they'll be in the Halloween stupor. And everybody will be like trying to concentrate and not getting it done. So it's going to be an interesting week, that's for sure. We'll make it through somehow. I need to make my lesson plans this weekend. Find some activities that I want to put with my lessons. Probably print out a few things. I did dig a couple of things out of my closet that I didn't have readily available, so I got that ready for Monday. I just need to put some words down into these, what do you call them? I don't know. I'll have to show you Monday. It'll make more sense if I do that. I have these squishy dice that have pockets. There's a name for them, but it eludes me right now. And you can change whatever you put in there. It can be words, it can be math, it can be pictures, whatever. And then the students can roll them, and then whatever they roll. I just use Post-it notes because they're the right size and shape just to fit in those pockets really nicely. And they stick a little bit, so it keeps them from falling out so easily. But I use that for spelling as a spelling game, and I think they're ready to have a new activity in their word baskets. And so I told them that I had a new activity that would start on Monday, and they could have something new to do in their word baskets, and they're very excited. So hopefully that's good. But I found the little Post-it notes. I just saved them from last year. I made them all up last year each week as we changed our spelling words, and I would change the words in the basket. And I saved the little Post-its along with the magnetic spelling words that I would put on my board so we could practice them. So I kept them all. I had to start throwing them away. I'm like, why am I throwing these away? There's nothing wrong with them. I can use them again. So I did that. So that way they were with the word cards, and then I could just put them in my little reusable dice, which was cool. So we'll start that. I did print out the papers, but I think I forgot to get them off the copier. Yes, I did. Oh well, I was just trying to get out of there, and I forgot that I printed them before, so that's okay. They'll still be sitting there Monday when I come in, somewhere around the table or by the copier somewhere. So I'll pick them up then, and then I just need to put the little word card things down into the pockets of the dice, and they'll be ready for new stations or centers, whatever you want to call them. Word baskets is what I'm calling those things. So I'll mix around some stuff in there for them to do spelling with, because they need more practice on their spelling words. I brought the spelling test home that I gave today. I brought the pre-assessment home that I did today for math so I could check them. I don't think I brought anything else home other than lots of fatigue. Yeah. So I'll get those checked. I never have time to check the spelling test anymore. Last year and all the years previously, I never had to bring the spelling test home to check it. I always had a piece of the day where I could check it and send it home the same day. Always, always, always. I would check the test, I would record the test, and I would send it home the same day. This year, I cannot get things done.
the schedule is just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just bam, 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 bam. And I can't seem to get it accomplished. So I need to figure out something else. I'm going to try to revamp my schedule, I think, for the day and see what might work better. I don't know. I changed my counseling day from Tuesday to Wednesday. So I switched it with my partner teacher across the hall. She had Wednesdays and I had Tuesdays. But I have 2 students who are pulled for reading every Tuesday and Thursday. And so whenever we would have counseling, they would never get it. They were never going to have counseling. And so the last time we had counseling was 2 weeks ago, and they hadn't been pulled for reading yet. But now it's going to affect them because now they're being pulled for reading at that time. And I don't want them to miss counseling the entire year. That's kind of important. So I switched counseling times with my partner teacher. And that way we can I'll definitely do science. I may need to do science on Mondays and Wednesdays. And switch my Healthy Heritage Movement Club to Tuesdays or Thursdays, and they'll just miss it because that's something they can miss and it doesn't affect their academics at all. And honestly, neither one of them likes to participate in it anyway, so it probably would be just as well if we just changed the day that we did that, because that's not going to hurt anything academically at all, because they would rather just sit there and not do anything. So that'll work out, and then I'll figure out what to do on Thursdays when they're not there. That's not gonna. I thought about splitting my reading group time and doing like my science halfway, like maybe do science right after. I don't even know. I had it worked out in my head where I would split the reading group time and do the part that I split off during. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, friends. I'm sorry. It's not making any sense. My point was, the time that I would spend doing science in the afternoon, I would do reading groups during that time. And I would do like maybe one reading group after lunch and then go into science and then do writing, which is what I did before, and then have recess and then come back and do the other part of reading group. That's what I was trying to say. Because whenever they go to reading, I would do their group first. I would make sure that they had their group with me first, and then they would go to their reading group time with the other teacher. And they wouldn't be missing anything because I would have already had them for their reading group time. That's what I was trying to say. English hard, especially on a Friday night. So that was my plan. So I'll let you know how that goes. Because I think it's going to be a huge pain. But at least I haven't already made my lesson plans for the week. That's probably a good thing. Because then I can switch things around on the lesson plan format before I have to worry about where the activities are going to go. So at least I haven't had it all done and then just have to change everything. That would be a real nightmare. It's going to be a big enough pain having to switch around everything on my lesson plan page because it's very structured to the specific thing that I'm doing at that time of the day. I mean, I've got like everything's laid out on there. You know how lesson plans are. It's already put down on there. So I'll figure something out and get my life together. And I told you there was a wedding tomorrow for us to go to. I'm not sure I'm going to be up to it at this point. I feel pretty cruddy. I don't know if some of it might be from getting the flu shot yesterday. I think it might be kind of because of that. Plus, I'm really, really tired from the week. I'm already tired thinking about next week. And I did print out I think I printed out all of my assessments that I need to give next week. We've decided to do sight word testing a little differently, where I guess we're supposed to have them try to read the entire year's worth of sight words and then mark down the ones they know. And they only need to get like 32 of the 160 words for the year to pass for each quarter. But they can get any 32 from the 160 list. I'm like, I personally don't have time to listen to 20 students read 160 words to me and do everything else. Reading testing, science, math, social studies, spelling. I don't know how this is supposed to work because you can't really test them. Well, I guess if you're going to do all the words, it doesn't matter. But I've always waited to test them until we learned the spelling words for that week. But I don't know. I may just, and I don't have any help this year. I have no volunteer, have no A+ helper, have no cadet teacher, I have no parent volunteer. Nobody comes to my room.
And I'm used to having at least one A plus helper, so that would be at least 2 times a week, sometimes 3. And last year I had 2, and they were on opposite days, so I had someone every day. That was amazing because they're supposed to work with kids. So I would have them do my sight word testing because they had been practicing the sight words with the kids anyway as an intervention. And so I'd say, okay, today's testing day. And they are capable of listening to a student say words and mark whether they said it right or not. Yeah. I have nobody to help me this year. So that's probably part of the reason I'm not getting as much done, because they were helping a lot. Like I had 2 really, really responsible A plus helper girls last year that came on opposite days, like I said. And so I could give them a reading group and have them read the book with the students. Like they weren't really teaching, but they weren't out of the room. They were, where I could see them because of, liability and safety and all that stuff. But they would read the books with the students like I would. They would read with them. They knew the strategies. They knew how to help them. The same I would. So then I could get more groups done a day. So sometimes, like when they were there at the right time, I could get all 4 groups in one day. Now I'm lucky if I can squeak out the 3 groups. Like 3's hard because I only have 45 minutes. But once it's all said and done, it ends up being like 40 or 35 because you got to stop and be like, okay, what are you supposed to be doing over there, Johnny Schmo? That's not what we're supposed to be doing. Look on the center wheel. I don't see anywhere on that wheel where it says run around and scream or whatever, because you're managing. You're managing behaviors too. It's just, you need another body during that time. It's really, really good if you have another body during that kind of a time when you have small groups and the other kids are doing other things. Because honestly, they will find other things to do that are not what you want them to do. And some of them are very, very sneaky about it. Which is why we have the rule, nobody goes behind anything, because Mrs. Bond has to be able to see you. I have to be able to see your beautiful eyes. Yes. So, yeah. And if they're going to abuse any of the privilege of having the choice to do things, then they'll be doing seat work, which is boring. So, I don't want to do that. Ugh. Then they're more likely to misbehave, too, because they don't like what they're doing. But, yeah. We'll do what we got to do to get through. And even if I did go to, you have to sit in your seat and do this worksheet kind of thing just for a little while, I wouldn't keep it like that. I'd be like, now we're working really quietly. Now let's see if we can try to do one more center. And that one went well. Let's add in another center. I mean, I would bring it back to them gradually. Obviously, I wouldn't just make them sit there the whole year not doing anything. But, I mean, you gotta let them know what the expectations are and be strict with them and say, I'm not going to put up with any nonsense. This is what I expect from you, and it's going to happen, or you're not going to get to do these things that are fun because you can't handle it. So, yep. Anyway, I feel like this vlog was kind of a downer. Like this morning, I was watching a little bit of the earlier filming from this morning. I was so upbeat and excited that it was Friday, and now I'm just like, bleh. And I don't want to be like that, but that's just how I feel. So I can't fake it. I'm honest, and I love teaching. I do. I really do. Or I wouldn't still be there. I could go do something else. I have a master's degree. I could go teach college if I wanted to. That's not where my heart is. But there are days. There are days where I go, wow, I think college might be the place for me. I don't know. I don't really think high school is the place for me because I can't take the attitudes. Got one of my own, and I don't like that one either sometimes. Attitude, not the person. Middle school, no. I cannot handle the crazy of middle school. They are just little insane people, and I can't do that. And generally, I have always kind of said the kids have to be shorter than me, and I'm only like 5'3" on a good day, maybe 5'2". So it doesn't take a lot to be taller than me. So my age range is a bit limited if I'm going to keep that parameter. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm reevaluating my entire life right now. And it's just disappointing and just very sad and depressing. And I know a lot of it is because I'm tired. Because when you're tired, everything seems worse. And when you don't feel good, everything seems worse. So I think that's where I'm coming from right now. So I'm trying not to put much stock in my feelings right now. We'll see how I feel after some sleep and some food. Some food would make a big difference in my life. I started drinking a cup of tea earlier. And then my husband came home and I talked to him. And my tea's stone cold now. So I need to heat that up and figure out what I'm going to eat to make myself feel better. I did have a banana earlier. I forgot about that. So a banana and 4 pretzels with some chicken salad on that. Big eating. Wow. At least I had something. Oh, and that little tiny scoop of ice cream, that did it for me with the pineapple in it. I did have a little bit of fruit. had a little bit of dairy, I had a little bit of protein, and a little bit of bread. So I did get my 4 food groups in. And if I had some pumpkin bar, if I had some pumpkin bar also, which I totally forgot was in my fridge at school, but it'll be there next week too. Yay. So that'll be something to look forward to next week. If I'd had that, I would have had my fats group too. So I'm sure that's very exciting to hear. I think I'm going to say goodnight for now. No, I think I'm just going to say goodnight. Not for now, but for tonight. And I will talk to you tomorrow about something, probably something very random because weekends tend to be random. So I will see you next time. Bye, friends. Love and hugs.